Hey everybody, welcome. Glad to have you today. I've got my friend John on the show. John, welcome.
Thanks, Max. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate you taking the time to, in your day to reach out to me and you know, uh, have a chat with you. Appreciate it.
Of course, yeah. You're super awesome, super successful out in LA and surrounding areas. I want to let folks get to know you a little bit better. John, how long you been in real estate, and what kind of made you get into it?
Yeah, I've been investing. Started in 2009. I started doing some research and like a lot of people, I just did a lot of research before I took any action. So I decided in 2012 to take some action. And I used to have a plumbing business, and basically, which was going pretty good. And so I had a pretty good background in construction. But I bought my first home 2012 to flip, and I just kind of fell in love with it. And I just did maybe about 4 homes the first year. Still my plumbing business, and then after a while, I think it was about 2013, I said, "Wow, this is pretty fun, something different." I was a plumber since I was 18, so I just kind of wanted to do something new and exciting. So I just decided, hey, let's just go for it. And I told my wife I'm going to go into this full time. And 2014 just went full time, and that's how I ended up here.
And then, you're pretty well known in the area, but for folks who don't, know you yet, how many do you think, houses do y'all, how many people have you helped since you've been doing it? And what are some of the most common projects that you guys, take on?
I think we're probably well over, maybe 70, 75, maybe approaching 80 deals that we've done in that time, all kind of in the Los Angeles and Orange County area. I've dealt with just a lot of different people over that time frame, as far as just people that wanted to sell their house and move out of the state. And then there's others. Then what I really find that I really enjoy doing is I really enjoy working with people that are maybe in their later years, and they have houses that they want to sell because they want to downsize, or they want to maybe move on to different situations, get closer to their loved ones. So I really enjoy working with what's a nice way to say it? Elderly people, or what's a good word for that, Max?
Well, we could call it seniors.
Seniors, yeah. I love working with seniors and helping them find solutions to what they're facing at this time, and their families too. So I find that really, really powerful, and I'm very grateful for the people that I've worked with, and I really enjoy working with them.
Very cool. Well, let's talk about the housing market where you guys are. What's going on in LA? Is it a seller's market? What's the inventory like? And what's it like if if somebody is trying to sell their home right now? Is it hard to do? Is it easier? Can you speak to that?
That's a great question. The market here is pretty good right now. There's a lot of there's not a lot of houses for sale, and it seems like the market's as far as on the retail side, when people are selling, there's just a lot of buyers. So that's good for everyone. But on our side of our business, we're seeing that people still want to use our services because of the benefits that we offer. And the benefits that we offer is that we pay cash, meaning there's no banks involved. So we have private money from people that we borrow money from. It makes it really easy. So if there's an opportunity for me, I don't really have to jump through all the hoops that a bank would make you jump through. So I can get money pretty quickly. I have a network of people I borrow money from, and they loan it to me or my company, and we're able to do transactions quickly. So I find that the people that deal with us don't have the traditional anywhere from say up to 2 months to 4 months to get their house ready and put it on the market and sell it through a realtor. So they like the benefits of us being able to come in, give them an offer right away, set a closing date, and know it's going to close on that day, and then they can go ahead and make arrangements to move out or get on with their lives. So, and what the greatest benefit is we buy the house as is, so they don't have to do any repairs. And I just bought a house up the street here from my office, and actually I was just there right now, and the guy just basically walked away with, he walked out of the house. I told him, take what you want with you and leave the rest behind. So he left a lot of furniture, and they usually kind of equivalent up to like maybe 1 dumpster full of stuff, but that's the benefit that he really enjoyed, that he did not have to wait on. He didn't have to clean his house, and when he left all the stuff. He took what he wanted with him, and he left the rest behind. So that's really was a good benefit for him. And we were able to close within 2 weeks. And then I even gave him the benefit of let him stay in the house a couple more weeks till he found a place to live. So that's some of the services that we offer that you won't find in a traditional real estate transaction like with an agent. And I mean, if you have time and that's something that you want to do and use an agent, we're all for that too. So we do offer, my partner Ricky is a real estate agent, so we do offer that service too to people. So we're trying to find out what's best for people, offer them a service, and try to bring value to them.
Very cool, very cool. Now, in any market, there's a lot of people, who, do similar things, but they're not all created equal. And, the homeowners, they can't tell the difference sometimes between, a real estate investor who's got experience and is going to follow through with what they say versus somebody who, has never even done a house, can't actually buy a house, and maybe just went to a boot camp and is, barely knows how to fill out a contract in your state. So what are some like red flags that, if we're teaching, somebody in your area on what to look for, and obviously, down at the end, we'll put your info, but if somebody is looking for somebody to, work with, whether it's to, and we'll just park right now on sell the home cash, what are kind of like some red flags that you've seen in the industry that may indicate the person they're talking to is not the right person?
Yeah, that's a big problem, I think, with people. There's a lot of people in this business, or they claim to be in this business, and they're posing to be somebody they're not. So a lot of guys will come out and meet with people. They'll sometimes, not in every case, but they'll come out and meet with people. They'll get a contract, and knowing that they're not going to buy it themselves. They're going to take that contract and move it to somebody else, and they don't have the money. So I say the first thing is make sure they have the money, like proof of funds. We have a proof of funds letter. And we make sure that we, if people ask for it, or even we can just show it to them just to prove that we could actually buy the house. And we're connected with a group of investors that if we go ahead and take that contract, we're going to go ahead and make sure we can close on it. And then here's the other big thing too. If there's something happens along the way where there's a dirty, that's not the right word, like the title's not clean, or if there's a problem with the escrow, or maybe the house even needs way too much work than we thought, then we're just upfront and honest with them right away and let them know that, this is what we need to do to rectify it, or basically, just be upfront and honest with everybody. So that's one thing that we live by. We have a set of, I have them all over the office. We have a set of core values that we live by, and they're on our website, and we live by these core values. So we just want to be upfront and honest with people. We want to do the right thing, and we live by these core values. So if anything happens in our business that doesn't relate to our core values, we basically look at the wall and say, well, how are we going to fix this, or what's going on here? Because we don't want to do anything outside our core values. So there's people in this business that will make you a lot of promises that they can't fulfill, and that's just something that we don't want to do, because we realize this is your home, or it's your investment property, and this is very important to you, and we want to treat you with the utmost respect, because we feel that that's what's the most important thing. We put people over profit. I think that's and we do the right thing. So those are our core values. So when we live by these core values, our whole team operates from these core values, and you're not. Right when we read them to everybody all the time. I would say at least every week we go over them, and we want to make sure people are working on my team that believe in those core values. And if they don't believe in those core values, basically they're not a good fit for our company.
That's great. Yeah, that's great. And I can tell that, you're laser focused on that. There's this little cat and mouse game that's going on right now. I'm buying houses in addition to our other businesses in Dallas, Fort Worth. And I'm sure this is happening where you are, where people are coming out, whether it's companies or less experienced wholesalers, and they're giving people these dollar amounts for their house that are fiction, and they're getting the contract locked up, and then they're either trying to sell it to somebody else, and when they can't get it, they have to back out of the contract, and there's all these little magic clauses that normal people don't know about because they're not doing this all day, or they say a price, and then just before closing, there's all these adjustments that have to happen, these extra inspections, and then the amount that the seller walks away with is far less than they thought. Does that happen in your market? And can you speak to that a little bit, and what people who are watching this can do to kind of see those red flags and prevent against the whole, if it's too good to be true, because the secrets. And today I really want to just peer behind the curtain, so when people are hearing these things, they're like, oh yeah, this is that.
Right, 100%. And that's a great question, Max. What happens is that in our business, I'm not going to talk about what other people do because I know that you hit the nail right on the head. That's exactly what's going on. So what we do is we use a single phase contract and we explain right when we sit down before you sign the contract, we explain it thoroughly to people. And it's real simple because, like I said, it's one page. And we let them know we let them know right from the beginning what to expect, right? And depends on the situation of the house. If the house is super clean and I feel real comfortable about it, and it doesn't need a lot of work, then I probably will waive a home inspection. But but the house needs a lot of work, and I say the roof is bad, and I don't know what's under the house. We generally get a home inspector to look at the house, but we tell the people up front. And all I'm looking for basically is like maybe a huge, large ticket item, like a cracked foundation, a pool of water under the house, just big ticket items that I can't visually see, because I feel like if I'm there and I can visually see this, I should, when I'm giving someone, making someone an offer, I should already have all that covered, because I'm there physically talking to the person, and I don't have any right to come back to you and ask for a lower price. But if, for instance, we do a home inspection, and it's not a full-blown home inspection, where it's just a real quick contractor comes and looks real quick under the house. There's something, a big ticket item, we talk about it right up front. And we usually try to do that within the first 3 days. We don't want to drag this on. We don't want to talk about it at the end. We want to get it on the table at the beginning. Then you have options to figure out, what you would like to do as far as if you're the customer. If you want to proceed with this, is great. And if you want to end it, that's okay too. If you don't want to go forward with it because maybe this is going to lower the price that you think you're getting, that's okay. We're fine with that, because we want to make sure that you're happy all the way through the transaction. We don't want to pull something out on the last day. If it's a 14-day escrow, 7-day escrow, 30-day escrow, we don't want to be there in the last day before we close and bring all this up to you, because that puts you in as a customer, that puts you in a very uncomfortable situation. And a lot of guys are doing that. They have no problems do that. But see, that goes against our core values. That's not something we want to operate, because we put people over profit. See, so right off the beginning, we have all these conversations up front with people, and generally, I've never really had to go back and cancel a contract because something was that bad with the house that we had to talk about. So in all the transactions we did, we pretty much they've been relatively smooth. We've had some situations where there were some bigger ticket, like in LA here, we have houses that are like maybe in the $1 million range. So $2 million, that happened like last month. We told the guy, we'll reach out and see what we can do. And, maybe there's another partner we can bring in to partner on this, but we know that this price is not the best price for us, but we'll bring, I know a lot of people, let's see a guy in that range, because that's not my avatar. That's not where I fit into. I like the stuff below $1 million. So anyways, we tried it, and it just was the price that we gave them. And unfortunately, it was a lot more than probably the market could bear at the time, because it's a high dollar house. Those buyers have kind of disappeared. They're just not existent like they were before. So we told them the truth within, I think it was like 5 days. We said, this is probably not going to work for us or you too. And the guy says, hey, great, I appreciate it. We canceled the contract and we moved on. So what I'm letting everybody know here is that this does happen in a rare occasions, but you have to deal with it up front. And there was no monkey business and dragging the people 2 weeks. And the lady, and she was an elderly lady that needed the money because she was in assisted living. So we tried our hardest to get her the most. And then they went ahead and just canceled it. And I think he listed it with an agent. And he probably might not even get what we were going to offer him. So anyway, so I think just be really wary. First of all, ask if they have proof of funds. That's gonna clear a lot of it. They have proof of funds, and have they done deals with other people? Can they prove it to you? Do they have testimonials? I have great testimonials. I have video testimonials. I'm very credible. So you want to make sure these people are credible. And and if the people really want to check them out, you could always, just like any reference, see if they have a phone number for someone they can call, just to maybe have a conversation to see if they feel like they need to. Most people don't go that straight, but yeah. So
that's a beautiful thing. No, I think that's a ton of value there, and you have so much knowledge that you're the go-to source in the area. If I'm living there, I'm a homeowner. It's automatic, because you can just tell what's going on. So I appreciate all the transparency. It's very refreshing. So let me ask you a question about there's kind of a theory out there that people say they can always get more money for their house through an agent. And in my experience, sometimes they can, if they're willing to make repairs or take the amount of time it takes and put some money into it. But some of the times the agents, depending on the condition of the house, they'll put it on the market and they'll just be selling it to somebody like me, and then who's buying it cash, and then they got to pay a commission too. So in your market where, you know, commissions do kind of get up there a little bit,
Yeah.
you know, and it can be a significant cost. Do people always net out more when they go with an agent, or do results vary?
I think results vary, and you know, that's something that we've kind of implemented here recently. You know, my partner Ricky that goes on the sales calls, he's a licensed agent, so I want to say that he is a licensed agent. But when we do a cash transaction, someone we're not using. It says on the contract there's no affiliation with an agency. It's just between us and them, right? So what happens in that situation is like an A and B here. So the A situation is like when we come out, we make people a cash offer. And we say, this is going to be cash. We're going to close on the date of your trip. We're going to give you a cash price, and then we're going to try to benefit you by giving you terms as far as when you want to close, when you know, if you want to leave stuff behind. There's benefits to what we do because we're flexible on that stuff, right? But what happens is too, you know, sometimes the house, like you said, it does go on the open market with the realtor, and by the time that they end up paying, you know, 6%, 5% commission for the real estate agent closing costs, yeah, they get, and then they have to wait anywhere, and then they have to do some repairs because most people are going to want repairs. And the agents too on the back end always come and want things repaired. It might be a cash as is offer and they pose it that way, but then on the back end, whoever's buying the house always is going to want a discount. It's kind of like a dirty secret. It's a dirty trick. And you know about that, Max, right? You go ahead and you get the title. It's the same thing. You get the contract locked up, and they come back later and say, well, you know what? You know, can you fix this little electrical outlet? And they come up with a laundry list of even more of a discount, kind of like what the people do at the closing table on the cash buyer side. So it's just kind of a dirty trick in this industry. So next thing you know, and now you're into it for 30 days, they might try to go get bank financing, which won't be possible because the house doesn't work. You're just getting drug out down the road. And then, you know, what do you do at that point? You either accept what's going on or you have to start over again. So when you deal with us, it is basically a cash net offer. There's no commissions. We pay for everything. So you know what you're getting right from the beginning. You know the price, you know the closing date, and you know exactly what's going to happen because we're going to get it done. We're not going to play any games with you, right? And then what we started doing, since Ricky is an agent, my partner, Ricky McGonion, you know, we came up, because we do get calls from people that have beautiful houses. I mean, it's happened a lot in the last, I think just in the last like 3 months, because we just started implementing this. And we go to the houses and we say, you know what, we're going to be honest with you. Our cash offer is going to be around $600,000. I don't even think you're going to like that. Your house is beautiful. You have a little bit of time, and it doesn't look like you need to get out of here anytime soon. They say, yeah, you know what, you're right. I want the most money, and that's what I want. No problem. We're all about everybody getting the most money. I want to clarify that. You know, if I go to sell my house, I want to get the most money. So there's nothing wrong with trying to get the most money for your house. And that's upfront and honest. I mean, hey, that's the way it is. So what we do is we came up with, we call it 30-day top dollar program. And why are we different from any other agent? Another agent's going to come in and they're going to probably say, okay, Max, you want to sell your house? I need a 6-month commitment from you. And I need all this stuff from you. What we're saying is basically, look, give us 30 days maximum for a contract. We don't want 6 months. We want 30 days. And if we don't do something in 2 weeks, you can rip this up and see you later. So we're trying to make it real simple for people to say, if you want to make a 2-week commitment with us, basically, to at least give us 2 weeks to get on the market and see where we're at. And then in 30 days, we don't have any offers for you. You can rip this up and we're down the road. No questions asked, 100% free. And we pay for the pictures. That you're not out of money. They're not out of pocket, anything. We do all that. That's part of their service. And what we find is people that have really good homes that are really, really good to go on the market, we get buyers for them right away, and they do get the most money. And of course, we charge the real estate commission. And this is working really well for people that have the time and they don't need the cash right away. So it's kind of, we're able to kind of offer 2 services to people, which I find is pretty powerful. And what I like about that is if people call us and they don't want to do business with us, that's okay. You know, we're not going to force people we're not forcing people to do these programs, you know, and that's what's powerful. So it's a win-win for everybody because we're all in it together. And we all kind of get to the finish line together, and it works out really well. So that 30-day top dollar program has been working pretty good lately, and I'm glad that we implemented that because now we're able to service people on both sides.
Yeah, that's really smart because there is another little dirty secret out there. I think people are watching this are like, man, there's a lot of secrets out there, and there are. And if you don't know what they are, you can really get in trouble. And that's why, John, you've got a book out that you're sharing with people that kind of uncover some of these things. And one of them is what you just talked about. I think it's in your book. It talks about how there's some games out there where the agent will go to your house and tell you whatever you want to hear because they're going to lock it up, say, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, that other agent could only get you, 500, we can get you 550, but the agent is not going to buy your house. And so they can say any amount they want. They get it lock up contract for 6 months. And then they know it ain't going to sell at 550, but they know that's what you want to hear. So for them to get the listing, and then as time goes on, it doesn't sell. Then the magic price goes down to what it should have been or below. And what I like about your company is, number one, you educate and teach people that that's going on, and you don't do that, and you're so upfront and transparent. So I got one more question, and I want to talk a little bit about your book. What about for folks who want to stay put? And you've been in a lot of houses, and you've seen what goes right with houses, but you see what goes wrong, and you know what dramatically affects the value of homes. So if somebody is on a limited or moderate budget, they're in Southern California and they're trying to keep up their house and keep the value up as much as they can because they need to live there right now. Maybe they're not ready to sell yet, but in a couple of years they're going to call you. What would you recommend, the top 2 or 3 things they look at in their house to make sure they maintain those things?
Yeah.
Value the most.
You know what? That's a great question because I see, especially a lot of seniors. I'll use my grandma for example. That's always a good example, right? She lived in her house for, I don't know, well over I'd say 60 years. But she maintained it. Now, was it up to 2020 standards? No, not by any means. But it was clean, and on the limited income that she did have, she was really, came from the Depression, so she was really good with the money she had. But you know what she always did? She always maintained her roof. You got to have a roof over your head. And by maintaining the roof, that's where it all starts, because you're not letting all this water into your house to start damaging all the walls, right? So, I would say, first of all, make sure that your roof and your fascia board and the screens are all protected to allow to not allow any moisture inside your house. That's a big one, right? The other thing I would think too is on the outside, if you have any kind of wood, preserve the wood. If you have, sash, depends on what you have on the outside. Keep the wood freshly painted. If the stucco is not painted, that's okay because it's concrete, right? But, if you have wood siding or if you have any kind of wood, you want to make sure you're protecting that because that can really affect the sides of your house and let stuff in. If you have any screens or anywhere for rodents or animals in, make sure your house is sealed off completely around so you can keep rodents out of it, and even up on the roof. That's really going to protect you from keeping smells out and having to deal with that kind of stuff. And then on the inside, I mean, it's just basically the inside of the houses can always be fixed. So if you keep the exterior really in good shape, your interior is going to be in pretty good shape too. So make sure that your plumbing is working, you don't have any bad circuits or electrical stuff safety wise, right? I think even for seniors or anybody, make sure you don't have any trip hazards. You don't want to be walking and tripping and falling down. That's not even good for someone myself, right? That's middle age. So I would definitely keep an eye on that stuff. And your mechanical, make sure your heater's good, that it's not putting out any kind of carbon monoxide so that you're sleeping, God forbid something happens like that. Maybe have a smoke detector and some CO2, at least one CO2 combination, fire and CO2, so that if you do have carbon monoxide in your house, that'll go off. And then, the rest of the stuff is just basically going to be basic maintenance and do the best you can on it, right? Just to minimize, especially if you're on a fixed income. I fully understand that. So, but people we buy houses all the time, and it's kind of funny because I say that, wow, this is like my grandma's house. I use that a lot, because it has the original tile, or maybe it was upgraded one time. Maybe in 60 years they upgraded it, maybe, like in the 30-year mark. But they put a different kitchen in and stuff like that, but it was clean. She took care of her house, And then generally, what we do, the service that we provide, we go ahead and buy these houses, especially a lot of times from seniors, and then we go ahead and we just basically just do the basic maintenance to them, upgrade them, put a new bathroom, kitchen, flooring. But if the roof's good, then we don't have to do a lot more work like that. And then we're offering, actually, what the greatest thing is, the value to our customer. If your roof and the outside sealed really good, and the inside is going to be just basic maintenance that we just, remodeling that we take into account anyways, we can give you more money. You're going to get more money because you don't have all this deterioration going on. So anyways, I think that's where the value is with your home.
That's super. Yeah, that's super valuable. And I've been in a lot of groups and I've never heard it said that way, but that makes a lot of sense. Take the budget you have for your home maintenance, focus on the outside, not the cosmetic inside, because if the outside isn't really sealed off, it doesn't matter what you do on the inside because it's just going to get all messed up.
Yeah, like I have a house over here in Lomita, about 5 miles from where I'm standing right now here in San Pedro, where I live in, and they didn't take care of the roof, and it had 3 shingles, and then all the water came in, and we had to rebuild the whole house. So of course, the price for the house, they didn't take care of it, was a lot lower than they would have got if it would have been maintained. So.
Right. Well, okay, cool. Yeah, that's super helpful, man. You dropped a lot of knowledge bombs, so I appreciate that. Let's talk about your new book. So first of all, congrats on becoming a published author. What made you kind of decide to go that route, and what do you have coming up as far as using that book and I think a workbook too in your community? What's kind of your game plan around that?
Well, first of all, Max, what I like about the book is that it's just honest. It's upfront and honest, and that kind of ties into our, like I keep saying, our core values. I just want to be upfront and honest with people. So what I like about it is it gives you a lot of options, and we realize that in this business, there's a lot of people you can do business with around here. I'm in Southern California, Los Angeles. There's a ton of people, and what I like about the book is I'm just giving people the truth. And I don't even feel it's my truth. It's just common knowledge of what's going on. And a lot of people don't know this knowledge. It's out there. And these are just the steps that you could take. And we give you all the different options. And we even tell you in there that's like, hey, if you want a cash offer, sometimes this might not be your best option. You might want to list it with a realtor. It depends where you're at. But if you do need our services, this is what you can expect from us. And if you choose to use anybody else, that's okay too, but expect the same thing. We want everybody, I would like everybody in this industry to treat people with respect and treat them fairly. And that's what the book lays out. So that's one thing that I really like about the book. And, the COVID is kind of, it's kind of put a little bit of, slowed us down a little bit. I was planning with the book to especially by now being able to go out and do some speaking engagements and try to get in front of some people that might need the knowledge so that we can help educate them and provide them some value. Because we want to, that's what you're all about too, Max, providing people value, right? That's what you're an educator, you're providing people value, and I really appreciate that. And that's what we're trying to do. So we're in the process of going to build a website, so that'll link to the book, so there's more information out there. And then hopefully maybe into next year when this thing dies down or whatever it does, we're gonna be able to get in front of some people and really start, maybe have some, like a little town hall meeting or a little, at my church or somewhere where we can start educating people and handing the book out and see if there's any way that we can provide any value to them.
Very cool, very cool. So if folks want to reach out to you, either to get a copy of your book or to just find out if their house is a good candidate for one of your programs for you to help them. What is the best way that they can reach out to you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me. I'm just going to go ahead and give everybody my cell phone number. It's 310-748-4822. And, or they can also call my office. Right now they can call my office. It's called, and the website's not set up for the home to home, but it's under my company, John Medina buys houses.com. And you can find us all over the internet. And there's phone numbers on the website that you can call into if you're interested in getting in contact with me. And if you call the office, Peggy will answer the phone, and she's really friendly, and she'll get all your information and kind of have a nice chat with you to see if there's to see if you're a good fit for our company. And we will also, if we're not, we're going to go ahead and be able to make some recommendations to try to help you guys find what's the best fit for you. So try to create a win-win situation.
Yeah, well, I really commend you, John, and everything that you guys are doing. You're very transparent and truthful with everybody that you're working with, and that's, and refreshing. And I think people, they want more of that. So I love as you're doing more of these town halls and, getting, helping some more people with that. I'd love to have you, come back on at a later date, and we can, see how all that went. Does that sound okay to you?
Oh, that'd be great, Max. I mean, I love doing this type of stuff, and anytime that you know reach out to me, I'd be happy to jump back on and give you guys a little bit of progress report. Hopefully by then I'll have the website set up, and people can go there and see what's going on. And but in the meantime, we're buying houses right now. We're looking to buy right now. You know, we're always looking to buy houses. So yeah, we're in the business. We're doing it. We're active every day. You see, I have an office. I'm in my office right now. I have a team of people. So yeah, we're for real. You can come down to my office here in San Pedro if you want to see me face to face. I'm a real person, and my wife works with the company, and we're like a local family-owned business, and that's what we do.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, we'll put the contact information down below in the show notes, and we're looking forward to having you on again. And man, just thanks for everybody, and thanks everybody for watching. And if you like this video, just reach out to John and give him your feedback. Until next time, John, take care. We'll see you soon.
Hey, thanks, Max.
Okay.
Bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye, everybody.